All right, everyone. Welcome back to the pod. Let me just make sure this is recording because, again, I am solo dolo. I have no one else here right now. So just need to double check. Be right back. Okay, we are all good. We are back. Hi, as you can see, I'm back in New York. Made it back after flight delay and flight delay and flight delay. We kept getting delayed. And I said to myself, if this flight gets canceled, because there were no other flights going to New York that night, if this flight gets canceled, I'm going back to the Win and I'm buying myself the Prada dress that I want. Luckily for my bank account, we left and I made it back way later than expected, but it's okay. That's life. Um, and it was funny because when I got back, I landed at JFK, which I usually do LaGuardia, but whatever. And I think every New Yorker knows that little stretch of JFK when you're leaving and there's construction around and like you're going under some sort of bridge and for some reason there's only two lanes and no matter what time of the night there's always traffic. I think we all do what I do every time I land there, and you're sitting in that traffic in your $100 Uber. And I just start to question my entire existence. I just start to ask myself, why do I live here? Why do I travel? Why do I do this to myself? And I promise myself that I would honestly, sometimes I would rather have a layover and fly into LaGuardia than go nonstop to JFK, okay? But then you get past that traffic, you see the skyline of the city, and you're like, life is worth living. And then you make it home. No, but after, like, once I saw the skyline, I was like, whew. I took a deep breath. I was like, Presley, you're going to be okay. These are the least of your problems right now. And I sat there and I manifested my doorman apartment building with an elevator because I currently have none of that. So you best believe that I dragged that suitcase up 5 flights of stairs. And I do that every time I travel, 47 pounds, baby. And I'm not mad about it because it was the workout for the day and I have good calves. Shout out to that. So if you're looking for a new calf exercise, just move into a 5 floor walk up. Okay, we have lots to talk about today. We have lots to go over. Um, One thing that I do want to say, when I'm in Vegas, I always post my outfits. I never do that when I'm not in Vegas because the mirror in my apartment just doesn't compare. And the mirrors there are really, the mirrors at the Win are asking you to take a picture of yourself in them and take a picture of your outfit. And so I was posting all my outfits. I was having the best time. And there's only one straight man that follows me on Instagram. There's only one because most of the people that I date don't have Instagrams. And I'm not posting things all the time that a straight man would want to follow me. It's usually work. So, every now and again, he likes to kind of like do that and try and sneak his little way back into my life via Instagram story swipe ups. So yeah, he'll dabble. Usually it's like an emoji or something funny or whatever. But I just want to put a PSA out there to I don't think we're doing this. I really don't think we're doing this. I have faith in the girls, but I just want to make sure. He responded to one of my stories and said he doesn't live in New York. And he responded to one of my stories and said, "When you coming to blank where he lives to visit me? When you coming to visit me?" First of all, grammar. First of all, grammar. Okay. Second of all, why would I ever get on a plane to go see you with my busy schedule? Third of all, you have money, you can come see me if you really wanted to. So I just wanted to put a little PSA out there to make sure that, oh, I obviously didn't respond. Not even a like, not even a double tap. No, we don't respond to that. So I just wanted to put a little PSA out there to make sure that we're not responding to those kinds of messages, right? Right? Even if there's no one else around, you would much rather be by yourself than to entertain a when you message. Yes? Great. Agreed. So now that I'm back in New York, I think my vibe for the summer is, and we're working again, okay? That's why none of the girls are here because we're all busy bees. You caught us for the first couple episodes, you caught us at a very chill time in our lives. And now, well, we're back, baby. So my goal for the summer is to really work on finding the balance between work and play. Sometimes I stress myself out so much when it comes to the work stuff that I just feel like if I play, then I'm missing out on the time that I could have used to work. And I am not good at playing and then working the next day. I struggle to find that balance. I can't be present in my like playtime, going out with friends, etc. If I know that I have something big the next day, it's really hard for me to focus. So I'm gonna try and schedule my summer so that we can have a good balance, because obviously making money and working will come first for me. Okay, so we're doing a good job with the views. So shout out to you all. We're getting like 50 views, which I feel like any person that is a like creator is like, that's not good. But for me, my expectations were so low. Again, always prepare for disappointment. The expectations were so low that I was like, I hope we get 10. And we're getting 50. I have no idea who they are. I can't even figure out how to tell like who my subscribers are. I don't know if you can do that on YouTube, but so I just want to say shout out, and I'm very proud of us, and we're gonna keep it going. So I have a little story time, just a little, just a little story time, okay? And it's funny because I was telling my dad the story and I was like, "Oh, I got an episode for the pod. Here we go." And he was like, "Be careful because if this person hears this on the podcast, that could end in something bad. Like what if he's a psycho?" And I just want to say out loud, like it really sucks that that's something that we have to think about. My faith in humanity has really taken a tumble. And so I'm still gonna tell the story. Don't you worry, don't you worry. I sense us getting stressed. Don't you worry. But it just, not that I was ever gonna drop a full name, but he has a point, right? These people that we go on dates with, usually we have no idea who they are. We hear all of those stories. It could end badly. This one didn't end badly, but it's just always good to be careful in any aspect, right? So, anyway, so my friend was going on a date, and I had heard talkings of this man from her. They like were missing each other because of travel and work, etc. So I've kind of heard about him for a while, and his profession was, I was like, got it. He's that one. They finally got to go on their date. So it was the last night I was in Vegas, which was a Sunday night. I was getting ready to go to dinner. It was around 7, and she was coming home from the date. So 10 here. She sends a voice memo, and she proceeds to tell me and my other friend in our little group chat about the date. I don't even know if I would call this a date. I don't think I would call it a date at all. They go for drinks. She finds out that he doesn't drink. Totally fine. But for some reason, somewhere in translation, she picked the place. So she picked the bar. He could have said, "Oh, I don't drink, yada, yada, yada. Do you want to do something else?" Whatever. It's fine. So they get to the bar. He's 15 minutes late. He orders a $20 mocktail that comes in a fruity glass, of course, and which is just comical that it was, you'll see where I'm going. She orders a $12 glass of rosé. They're sitting there talking, yapping away. She had a long work day. She's enjoying her rosé. She's telling me this on voice memo. She says, anytime money got brought up, he started acting really weird, which is, it's fine. We live in New York. There's a lot of variety in the amount of money that people make, okay? So she finds out that he doesn't drink because it's whoa, he doesn't drink because it's expensive, which fair. I have paid $40 for an espresso martini before. Fair. So maybe I should take a page out of his book. He doesn't drink coffee because it's expensive. He doesn't drink soda because it's expensive. And here's the kicker: he doesn't take the subway because it's expensive. And that's why he was 15 minutes late because he walked, which we love a stroll. We love a stroll, but budget your time, sir. And so, this, for those of you that don't live in New York, the subway's $3. So you're kind of like, what's actually going on here? Because his profession was not matching with what was being told. My friend is so nice. She always offers to split. And every time she's offered, the guys have said, oh, no, 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 no. Like, there's no way you're paying for this. And they've paid. This man said, okay, texted her his Venmo while they're sitting at the bar. She Venmoed him $12 for her rosé. And that was that. And so I'm listening to this. I'm getting ready for dinner with my family. I'm running late to said dinner, but I'm listening and something's happening subconsciously because some things stood out: the job, the no drinking, and splitting the bill. And I said, this is reminding me of something. Why is this ringing a bell? So I text my other friend and I say, what was the name of the guy that you went out with that had this job and made you split the bill and then left you at the movie theater? What was his name? I'm just curious. This is a very popular job. People split bills all the time. Could be anyone. Could be anyone. But I just, a lot of doctors don't drink, especially if you're doing surgery. It's fine. It's fine. So I was like, there's no way. There's no way that two of my closest friends went out with the same guy and both had this same experience. So I text her, and I know she's traveling with her family, and I kind of wait for a response. And then all caps start. The all cap text messages start. Then there's a FaceTime. She's with her family. I put my other friend on the FaceTime. We're having a little three-way FaceTime while I'm rushing to get ready for dinner. She's walking home from the date. She's with her family. They're like, "Oh my gosh," talking about yada yada yada. And the kicker too was we all do the same thing for work, and he pretended with the second friend that he didn't know what it was. So just one of those classic, you gotta kiss a lot of frogs, okay? But it's funny because you think that New York is this huge place, but it's really not. So keep that in mind. If anyone has a story that is kind of sounding like it could be this man, I would love to hear it. And I hope that my friends do not continue to date him. And also, he's never going to see this, so it's fine. Anyway, my well, that kind of goes into what I wanted to talk about today. We're going to talk about money today. Um, I love a budget. I love that that man is sticking very strong to his budget, but not to that extreme. Like, you should be able to live your life and spend your money that you've worked very hard for in a way that you want to, in a way that aligns with your future goals. So, whenever I go on dates, if he asks me, I always just assume that he's paying, and I don't offer, but it's just because the type that I'm going with, I know that they can definitely pay. So if there's maybe if you work together, or if you're both like just graduated college and there's not a lot of money to go around, definitely not on a first date, but maybe after a few you could offer, pay for a coffee, pay for a drink, do whatever, feels good for you. But if they ask you, my rule is just I don't. there was one person that I was seeing last summer, and he used to always pay for my Ubers back home from wherever we were. And the one time I offered, he said yes, and then he never offered again. I was like, "Oh, I got it." And he was like, "Okay." And then he never offered again. And I was like, "Sir, it is a trek from Midtown East to where I live, okay? So it's fine." But I want to kind of go into a little bit more of a deep dive on money, right? Because it's something that we should all feel more comfortable talking about, but we definitely don't. So I kind of want to poke the bear a little bit and see what we can come up with. So I'm going to drink a drink of my poppy, drink some water, and we'll get into it. All right, people, we're back. We're hydrated. Here we go. I think there's something really interesting. There's definitely a direct correlation between social media and money. Social media has this way of making you feel bad for not having things that you didn't even know you wanted or you don't want. Let's let's say that again. Social media makes you feel bad about having things you didn't even know you wanted or things that you don't want. It's just designed to make you feel bad about yourself because everyone is posting, bombarding you with all of this perfectness all the time. So you're going to feel bad when you reflect and you're like, "Oh, I'm not like that. I don't have that." And then you'll see an ad for said thing that's supposed to make you feel better about yourself, right? It's just this cycle. And I don't blame the influencers, right? Get your check. The fact that people can make money off of posting on social media, I'm obsessed with. I love that. No brand is going to hire someone to say, "Oh, I use this lotion sometimes, but in all honesty, there's a filter on this video and I actually use this lotion. But buy this one because they're paying me." No one's going to hire someone to say that. So you're getting bombarded with all these influencers saying, "This will give you magical skin. This will help you lose weight. This will make you more fit. Drinking this will make you more toned." And it's hard to keep track of what's real and what's fake, honestly. And when you're sitting there, it's genius marketing, so genius to get influencers to, because they know that we're on our phones, but it's not good for the mental health. It's really not. So I feel like when it comes to those things, because we're watching these videos so quickly, we're like, "I need that. Click, click, buy, done. It's shipping to your house," right? You need to take a second and really think about if that $60 serum is something that you actually need, right? Maybe finish the serum that you currently have before you go buy the $60 serum that this random girl who has a completely different skin type than you is telling you fixed her acne, right? We all just need to use CeraVe, okay? No, I see. I literally just did it. I use CeraVe, works for me, whatever. But it makes you feel like you need all of these little things, that you need all of this stuff. And I can always tell when I'm starting to fall into that trap because I have a tiny apartment. My little toiletry thing is tiny. So when that starts to kind of fill up, I'm like, we need to take a step back from, "Oh, you need this shampoo, you need this hairspray, you need this texturizing spray." Like, just use what works for you, right? And if you're just looking for a good review, read the reviews, but you don't need to bite on every little ad or influencer ad that you're seeing, okay? And I saw this TikTok a while ago that this girl, I can't remember who it was. It was a long time ago. I didn't even have a TikTok before I started this. So I think maybe someone sent it to, I don't know, whatever. Um, she just posted a video of her in her apartment and she said something along the lines of, "Welcome to the side of TikTok where we just live in reality and we're grateful and happy with what we have." And I watched that and I instantly felt better about myself because it was someone being real online and someone being relatable. Everything that we see is like come help me move into my $8,000 a day apartment. You sit there and you watch that video and it's making you feel bad about something that you don't have. And yes, it's entertaining and it's really cool to see all these like luxury apartments that people live in, but subconsciously it's making you feel bad about yourself. And so I think there's a very fine line between being motivated and inspired to want more versus being grateful and being proud of yourself for where you currently are. I think that's when it comes to career and finances and like stuff, I think that honestly might be it's what I struggle with, especially because we're at this age in our 20s where some people are very successful, some people are still starting out, some people are making career changes right now. We're not all fully settled, and it's very easy to compare yourself to someone that you think has it all together. And so I just want all of us to remember finding the balance between being motivated and being excited for like working more, wanting more, but also taking those moments to be happy with what you have and happy with how far you've come and where you currently are now on your journey, right? I think something that we forget about too, and this sounds very like deep, but also kind of cheesy, is you can't take all of this stuff with you when you die. Like when you're on the deathbed, you're not going to be like, someone bring me my Prada. Honestly, it depends on which one, okay? No, I'm just kidding. But you're not going to be asking for that. You're going to be wanting the people around you that you spent money with on crazy experiences and crazy connections and going out for drinks to get closer versus spending money just shopping or going on trips together. You want all the pictures from all of your adventures. You don't want just to be surrounded by all of your stuff. And I feel like with social media we just need to like decenter the idea of stuff and things, because yes, there are things that you want and there are things that you can save money for and buy, but like, do you really need the other bag? Do you really need that shirt? Do you really need those shoes? Sometimes yes, but most of the time no. It's hard and it's tough to wrap your head around because all we see again is just people having all these like perfect lives and all the things that we want. But is that what you really want? If you're in an apartment just filled with all of the stuff that you can buy, but no sort of genuine connection or memories with other people or, accomplishing the goals that you want, is that really what you want? So just keep that in mind, okay? Keep it in mind. Now, I am no financial advisor, okay? But I do have some little tidbits that when it comes to money that I want to send out into the universe, okay? Number one, if you feel comfortable, talk to your coworkers about how much they're making. If you feel comfortable, talk to your coworkers about how much they're making, right? This comes in degrees because depending on what you do, a first year might not make as much as someone who's a sixth year, but we should all kind of have a general understanding and all be in the same ballpark, right? I remember my friends and I were at dinner and one of the new girls was there and we were talking about money, and this isn't my current job. This was a job a while ago. We were talking about money and we were talking about how much we make, and then she told us how much she made. And it was so shocking to hear how much this girl was getting paid for what we do, because she was clearly being taken advantage of. It felt gross. It felt icky. It almost felt illegal. I was like, you, how can this person get away with making this much money for the work that we're doing? Like, that was crazy. But she was so grateful to us because she was like, oh, I would have had no idea, like truly no idea that this is the amount that I'm supposed to be making. And I was like, that's the whole point, right? When I first started out, I got some really bad advice on how much I should be making. And thank God I said something to my friends about my rates, and they were like, Presley, who told you that that's how much you should be making? And they helped me out. So if you feel comfortable, talk to your friends, right? It depends on the job. It depends on the job. Two, you should be saving at least 100. Yeah, let's do no less than 100. You should be saving a couple hundred a month into some sort of investment account, right? But it should not be sitting in just a checking account, okay? It should be invested, it should be growing, and you should have automatic deductions from your checks or your bank account each month so that you don't even think about the money. I've been doing that for years, and to me that is in my brain now. It's incorporated in just my like basic needs. In my thing I have like rent, wi-fi, utilities, investment, yada yada yada, and then it goes down from there. Like that is incorporated in my brain into my basic needs because I know it gets automatically deducted. Great. Three, get clear on your specific finance goals. Get very clear on what your goals are, not what you think you should do, what you want to do. And ask yourself, are my daily actions and spending habits aligning with my future goals? That was a good one. Are my daily actions and spending habits aligning with my future goals? I'm not saying sit inside all day and never swipe your card. I'm saying sometimes we just need to sit back and reassess, right? Pull up the statements. Do we need to pull back on this category, on this category? We're smart. We know how to do this, okay? Check it. Four, if there's something that you're eyeing that you would consider a big purchase, put a pause on it. Think about it for a second, right? Keep it in the back of your mind, keep it in the shopping cart, give it like 30 days, okay? There was this Prada bag that I really wanted. And to me, it was going to be a nice purchase for myself, but I knew that I could afford it. And I was kind of going back and forth between wanting it, maybe putting the money in savings instead. Didn't know what to do. It just like trickled out of my memory. And I think because I didn't want it that bad. I just wanted a black Prada bag. And I was like, oh, that one, because I can afford that one. And now I look at it and I'm like, thank God I did not buy that. Not that it's ugly, because nothing from Prada is ugly, but I know that I was looking at it and I was like, no, that was like so wrong for my style and what I like. So I'm so happy that I didn't just impulse buy it. So if there's something, sit on it. Sit on it for a second. Um, Five. This advice I use in all aspects of my life. There will always be something better. I was told this at, I can't remember who told me this, but I'm pretty sure it was at a very young age, and now it's just ingrained in my head. And I think that's where a lot of my confidence now comes from. There will always be something or someone better. This is going to sound harsh, but here we go. There will always be someone smarter than you. There will always be someone hotter than you. There will always be someone more fit than you. There will always be someone who's richer than you. There will always be a better car, better apartment, better house, better shoes, better shirt, better purses, better water. There's always going to be something better, okay? So that goes along with what I was saying earlier. You have to find the balance of being happy with what you have versus constantly chasing. Every season, you're going to buy the new thing. Every season, you're going to buy the new yada yada, whatever. You want another apartment? You want another car? You want better this, better that? Like, can we all just take a second and do we really need all of those things? Just ask yourself, okay? And remember that there's always going to be something better. Six, you should have your closet staples, okay? We don't need a new outfit for every occasion. I know we love it. I know we love to joke about it. Unless you're going to some like black tie gala event, you do not need a new outfit for every occasion. When you shop, there should be a little Rolodex in the back of your head of your closet, okay? You want that shirt? Great. Do you have pants and shoes to go with it? No? then you're not getting that shirt because you're not going to buy the shirt and pants and shoes and the bag. You like that shirt? Oh, it goes well with those pants. Oh, you can wear it with those shoes and these shoes and those shoes. And then you have those two bag options already at home. Sure, get the shirt. Woohoo, wear it to girls' night. But if you are looking to buy something and you have nothing in your closet that can match it, one, you're going to end up spending even more money on a whole new outfit. Two, it'll just end up sitting in your closet and you'll probably never wear it. Okay. Rolodex of the closet. My closet is so small. I know everything that's in there. Every one of my friends has probably seen every single piece of clothing that I own, besides like nicer cocktail dresses, because when would I ever need those? So keep that in the back of your mind, okay? Seven, if you're struggling with money, money management, how you feel about money, the thoughts that come up when someone says the word money, pick up a book, okay? Two books. Get your pen and paper ready. Two books that really helped me. Authors, I don't know off the top of my head now that I'm thinking about it. Oh, I know one, I don't know the other. First book is called The Latte Factor. And I'll say it again, The Latte, as in coffee, Factor. And it's great financial advice told in the form of a story with little tidbits. So that really helped me a lot. It's a quick read. And then the You Are a Badass at Making Money by Jen Sincero, I think is how you say her last name. That's really good if you have a little bit of that like entrepreneur side in you and you want to feel more confident about going after you want and going after the money that you want. Obviously, there's a ton of books out there of probably like how the stock market works and all of those things, but I have a financial advisor that I go to for all of that because I trust him more than I trust myself with those kinds of things. So pick up those books. I think I read them each at least once a year, and it helps me stay on track. Um, the last thing that I will say that I kind of just want to throw in, I don't have a lot of experience in this because I've only had one serious relationship, but I personally think that if you're in a relationship, once you hit that 10-month to a year mark, we need to be having some sort of money conversation, right? You probably know how much they kind of ballpark make based on the job. You can look up their rent on Street Easy. You can look up if they own their apartment on Google. If they have a car, like you can kind of guesstimate these things, right? Also, look at other signs. Are they taking you to the best dinners all the time? Are they just throwing money and spending and they want the new shoes and they want the new this and that and they're going on vacations and they just, if money is just like bleeding out of their pockets, he better have a really decent job to back that up, okay? Also, all of that could just be on a credit card and you would have no idea and he could be severely in debt, okay? So 10 to 12 months, have that conversation. Pull up the accounts. It can be scary and it can feel kind of icky just because no one talks about this, but these are the things that you should know because after that year mark, if he pulls up his account and you thought that he was this guy that managed his money really well and had savings and had investments, and then he shows you and he doesn't, you would much rather find that out at the year mark than find that out at the 6 year mark when you're thinking about getting married, okay? Because then if he's open to learning about it more, depending on like how old he is, then sure, help him out. But if that's something that's very important to you and something that you take very seriously, your money and money management, it is very good to know at that time in the relationship, okay? So, yeah, I hope that all of this recorded. Um It's so nice to be back in New York. I'm so excited for the rest of the summer. Have a few more travels coming up. Excited to see some friends soon. And yeah, I'll keep everyone posted on all of the things. And I hope that everyone's having a fabulous summer. And I will see you next week. Bye.